Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this video, we're going to be looking at an Enlightened team composition. This has been one of the most popular team compositions. It revolves, generally speaking, around Talon with some other Enlightened units like Morgana in order to help generate mana and deal additional damage. Now, this video was recorded on the 10.23 patch, the patch that should be coming to an end right as this video is posted. I believe 10.24, which is going to implement some pretty big changes, is supposed to release right around when I'm going to post this video. So this will probably be outdated by the time you're watching it, but it's a good way of looking at one of the most popular team comps that ran for quite a while. It may still continue to be viable in the next patch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still not entirely clear when I'm recording this what team compositions will be popular in the new patch. I also wanted to showcase this game though, just because I was very happy with how it played out. I think it's probably the best overall game that I've played in set 4, excuse me. Best overall game that I think I've played in set 4 of Teamfight Tactics. Now, that doesn't mean that everything was perfect in this game, but I thought that the decision making that I made and the fact that I was able to transition over time just made me happy with how this one played out. So let's go ahead and get into this one. I went ahead and grabbed the chain vest off of the initial carousel. It's an item I've been liking, generally speaking, on initial carousels. I have been having a fair amount of success at building out, kind of building from the front line back, trying to get kind of a strong front line and then just playing something behind that. I know I did that in a couple of the other videos I posted on YouTube, and it's also worked pretty well offline. Here in the early minion rounds, I get a really big stroke of luck. I get the 6 gold drop, which is generally considered to be the strongest thing that you can get early on in the minion rounds. Just getting that huge influx of gold, 6 gold in one round. It allows you to pretty much buy up the entire board. So like right here, I'm going to sell the Fioras. I'm going to play Janna. Then I'm going to toss down the Wukong, and now I still have enough gold left over that I can pre-level here. Now, the argument behind pre-leveling is I have not gotten a Chosen yet. Like, none of them have popped up. So at the next level, the next time that we see a roll on champions, it will be a level 4 roll instead of a level 2 roll, or instead of a level 3 roll. So it'll have level 4 champions, which means a better chance to get higher tier champions, more expensive ones. And I'm guaranteed to get a Chosen from this drop as well, because you're actually, no, I wasn't guaranteed to get one there. You're guaranteed to get one by 2-2, and that was only stage 2-1. But I had good odds to see a Chosen appear. Now, the Chosen, unfortunately, is not a 2-cost Chosen. It's still a 1-cost Chosen. I end up getting a Fiora, but I decide, you know what? I can play this Fiora. That seems viable. So I'm going to grab the Chosen. I needed frontline. Fiora is a decent frontliner. She's not that bad, honestly, as far as frontliners go. So I'm going to go ahead, play her. I toss down the 2 chain vests that I found thus far for a Bramble Vest. This is going to give me a lot of a pretty sturdy front line. It's a move I often like to make in the early game. Just if you can get the 2 chain vests, slap a Bramble Vest on someone. I have the Janna in this team composition that will be able to toss a shield on top of the Fiora. That's going to make it very difficult for any physical damage to get through her. Between her being a Chosen, I don't recall off the top of my head what Fiora's bonus Chosen stats are, but she will either have probably additional attack damage or additional health. So with the shields that Janna tosses on there, it's going to be hard to get through that chain vest, at least for physical damage. Magic damage is a different story. And then Nami will be able to provide crowd control with her bubbles. And we also have Enlightened Trait in play, and we also have the Duelist Trait in play. Now, here's the issue here. I managed to 2-star the Nami, which means I don't really have another champion to toss in here. I'd love to toss in another Mystic champ to make Mystic. I'm grabbing the TFs because if I can get another Mage, I would be able to run Mage 3, which would mean that the Nami would cast twice and TF would cast twice. Like if I could find Annie, that would be nice. That would give me some more frontline protection. But for the moment, I'm just largely relying on the Fiora to be tanky. And, you know, she was more tanky than I expected her to be in this game, just because she has that parry ability where she's going to be invulnerable while she's parrying, while the Bramble Vest continues to soak up damage. So yeah, she was tankier than I expected her to be. Now, the Bramble Vest, if you're not familiar with this item, it is 2 chain vests. What it does is it gives you 50 armor. It also negates bonus damage from incoming critical hits, and on being hit by basic attacks, you deal magic damage to all nearby enemies. and that actually scales with the star level, so it does a little bit more damage for Fiora being 2-star as opposed to being 1-star. Here I end up seeing the Yasuo, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to play the Yasuo instead because that'll get another duelist in this composition. Duelists, as you can see me highlight there, duelist attacks grant attack speed, so you can stack up extra attack speed with them. What I needed was more damage, and that's kind of the reason why I wanted to toss in the Yasuo. I have good crowd control with the Nami. Her bubbles are really good at locking up people. I have good shielding with the Janna. And the Fiora with the Chain Vest is pretty tanky, but what I needed was more damage. So Yasuo has a way to do that, and also with the way that he will get scaling attack speed off of his Duelist trait, that felt like something that would be more useful than, I don't know, a TF that didn't actually have any traits in play. So I was pretty happy with that, and we were able to cut through the front line here of the comp we're playing, Bloody Butterfly, who is running a Duelist team composition, and I've been able to win all 3 of the initial rounds, which is always a fantastic thing to have happen. Now, I thought that I was doing a pretty good job of playing what I was given here, but it does need to be said that a huge factor in me winning those rounds is getting the 6 gold drop off of the minion round. It just helps you so much to get that extra gold. It enables you to start leveling earlier. Like the counter to this is sometimes you can get 2 gold and a Nico, and that's generally considered to be the weakest opening. It's so much worse when you have 2 gold and that Nico's help, which you're not going to use at the start of the game anyway, as compared to getting 6 gold and 3 items, as I did here. Well, on the carousel, I do have late priority because I haven't lost a round yet, but that's fine. I can still get a useful item. I was thinking of maybe getting a needlessly large rod to make Luden's Echo on the Nami, but instead I will take the other tier. That's going to allow me to make a blue buff, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that and toss it on Nami. She does not have the mage trait in play to toss out 2 bubbles, which would be great. And I'm not planning on running Nami long-term in this comp, so I'm not going to try to 3-star Nami. The plan is for her to come out of this composition later, but she will be very useful in the game right now. And since I am at level 4, and I'm only 4 experience away from getting to level 5, I'm going to go ahead and level there so I can toss in another unit. I don't have a great unit to play. All I can play is another Fiora, but I'm on a 3-match win streak. I want to keep the win streak going. This will also give me better odds to find higher cost units. For example, now I have 5% odds to find 3 cost units. And as you often see in Teamfight Tactics, this is kind of a snowball game. Because I'm ahead early, that means I get more gold. I get more gold from that win streak. Even though I only have 10 gold in the bank, that's not that bad at this stage of the game, or 14 gold, so I get the 10 gold interest. But with a 4-match win streak, I'm getting quite a bit of extra gold on top of that. And now I'm hoping I can just win 1 more round so I can carry this win streak through to the minion round and be in a position to carry off over that extra interest through that extra round. Now, I haven't really talked too much about the Enlightened Trait here, so let me take a minute to cover that. Enlightened is going to be the focus of this particular video. Enlightened Trait is pretty simple. Enlightened champions generate more mana. Enlightened 2, they get 40% more mana. And Enlightened 4, they get 70% more. If you go up to Enlightened 6, it's a 100% increase, but that's not really something you'd want to do just because to get up to Enlightened 6, you'd have to play 5 Enlightened units plus a Chosen or all 6 Enlightened units, and honestly, the 1-cost Enlightened units aren't that great. Maybe if you have a Chosen Nami and you have like an Enlightened Chosen Nami, it might be worth running 5 of them. But generally speaking, you're better off running 4 Enlightened units because like you don't really want to run like Fiora in the late game, or you generally don't want to run like the Nami in the late game unless you're 3-starring her. So generally speaking, you look to go to Enlightened 4 and just get the 70% mana increase, and I believe that does apply to both mana generated from auto attacks, and I believe it also applies to mana generated by taking damage. I was fortunately able to win that last round, so I was able to carry a win streak through completely all 5 of the initial rounds, which is always fantastic. Get the max gold benefit from winning 5 rounds in a row, and now I'm going to look to carry that in through this minion round. You can see I'm over 30 gold, which is a great place to be right now. And I get some really weird results from this. I get no gold, which makes sense because I got the 6 gold earlier. Of course, it's much better to get that gold earlier than later. But I get 2 Nico's helps. I was like, 2 Nico's helps. I always have a little bit of trouble with the Nico's helps because it can be tricky to use them. Like, it's always a little hard to know when you should use them and when you should save them. So hopefully I'll have to find a time to use them to get the most value out of having these Nico's helps. The other thing that I did was I went ahead and traded out that second Fiora for a Callista. This allows me to make Duelist 4. Obviously, Callista is also a better unit, so that's going to be a better damage dealer. Duelist, as I said, is stacking attack speed. I have the description here. I'll just read it. Duelist gain bonus movement speed. That's innate. And then Duelist attacks grant attack speed up to 8 stacks. At Duelist 2, it's 12% attack speed per stack. At Duelist 4, it's 20% attack speed per stack. So they will attack and get up to the cap, which is after 8 auto attacks. But, you know, if you get up to Duelist 2, or excuse me, get up to Duelist 4, they're attacking quite fast. So you can see Callista's tossing those spears. She tosses spears until she has enough damage to execute an enemy, and then she executes them. She actually did the most damage in that fight, even though she's a little one-star unit with no items whatsoever. But as I said, that's kind of what I needed in this team composition. As I said, I have a front line I'm pretty satisfied with. The Fiora with the Bramble Vest won't last forever, but it's good enough for now. I have good shielding with Janna. I have good crowd control with Nami. They're both enlightened, so they get their abilities off more often. But I'm a little lacking in damage. I have no damage items whatsoever. Like, if you look at my items, no BF swords. I have the recurve bow on the bench, but I'm waiting to make something else with that. So I'm going to go ahead and level to 6 here. Once again, I'm very wealthy as a result of that early gold drop and being on a 6-match winning streak. So I will level to 6, and all I'm going to do is just toss in another Callista. I don't have another unit to make a trait, which is a bit of a shame, but that's that. And now I'm up against this team composition that is running, it's like a ninjas and assassins comp with the Zed. Now, you see the problem here is my comp is vulnerable to backline access. I'm only tanky insofar as people are getting caught up on the Bramble Vest of Fiora. In this match that just happened here, the Zed and the Eve just jumped behind the Fiora, and as soon as that happened, they started killing my backlines. And there's not a ton that I can do about that, unfortunately. That's just kind of a weakness of this setup right here. If they can get past the Fiora, I'm in a relatively weak position. But the good news is there aren't a ton of people playing assassin-based compositions, at least not right this minute. By the way, here's a little amusing interlude. So Kirby, Drill Warrior, asked if I was interested in playing some more Teamfight Tactics games after this one. And so I'm going to say yes. And as it turned out, I was able to play a game with Kirby and Resniak, who longtime viewers of this channel will remember from our YouTube game nights on League of Legends. And we were able to do a Teamfight Tactics game after this, and it was a lot of fun. It's always more fun, whether it's Teamfight Tactics or League of Legends or really any online game. It's always more fun to be able to play with other people you know, as opposed to just being involved with random strangers. So this is another duelist team composition that we're up against here, Bloody Butterfly. And I just needed my front line to hold up long enough, and it just barely looks like it did. Go, Callista, go! Toss those spears. So she's going to manage to execute the Thresh, and now it's one-on-one with Kennen. So it's like, come on, Janna, you can do this. And there we go. Fortunately, Kennen did not have that Guardian Angel still up. Winning that match gets me back to 50 gold, and I'll be able to get the max interest carried over into the next round. So I'm going to need to upgrade my team composition. This isn't going to work forever. I can't just sit behind a one-cost chosen Fiora with a Bramble Vest and expect me to carry that for too much longer. So I'm going to need to go into some other team composition. At the moment, I was thinking of two things. I was thinking I could go into an Enlightened team composition, and ultimately that's what ends up happening. Or I could look to go into a duelist team composition, but I don't feel like I have quite the right setup for that. Generally speaking, if you're going that route, you want to either have a stacked Callista or you want to have a Yasuo that's going towards a 3-star Yasuo. And I pretty clearly am not going to go for a 3-star Yasuo. Here I grabbed the Giant's Belt so I could make a Zerat Portal. That's going to make my front line stronger. Again, I kind of have 3 general use items here. Bramble Vest is always going to be good on a frontliner. Zerat Porter is always going to be good on a frontliner. And the blue buff can always be useful on some. You can always put blue buff on someone in your team composition and get some value out of it. But I'm kind of waiting to see what items I'm going to get to try to give my team composition a little bit more definition. And in particular, I'm going to need to get some damage items at some point so that I can play into a comp that makes more sense. but it's likely going to be either Duelist or it's going to be an Enlightened team composition that focuses on Morgana and Talon. That said, I'm going to need to get some kind of BF sword related items if I'm going to play that on Talon. You can play blue buff on Talon. It's not a great item on him because of the way his ability works. You don't really need to get additional mana, but with Enlightened Trait, it's not terrible on him. Still, I would want to get like an Infinity Edge or a Guardian Angel or a Hand of Justice or something along those lines if I'm going to play into that team composition. Otherwise, if I can't get itemization that fits the team comp, I'm more looking at like a top 4 finish as opposed to winning the game. But I'm happy with how the game's gone thus far. I've lost 1 round. We've played nine competitive rounds so far, 9 PvP rounds, and I've won 8 of them. And I'm in great shape from an economic perspective. I'm going to be able to hit 7 right after this round. I've been able to sit over 50 gold in the bank for quite a bit, and I had that long winning streak. And now I need to do the most difficult part of Teamfight Tactics, which is going to be transitioning from an early game team composition into a late game team composition. That's what I'm going to need to do next. I'm going to have to sell the Fiora Chosen. She's not strong enough for me to play for the rest of the game. She doesn't fit with the team comp. I'm going to need to find a new Chosen, and I'm going to need to make something. Now, this is a team composition you don't see very often, at least in the patch version that we were playing here, and that is a Vhagar-based team composition, Elderwood plus Vhagar. Now, the reason why my comp falls apart here is because this team composition is mostly magic damage based. I am only tanky against physical damage. That Bramble Vest does nothing against magic damage, so we are not able to have much success there. And I also have no backline access to kill off the Vhagar. So anyway, I'm going to look to sell that Chosen right here. I'm going to do that right now before the minion round, which is a little bit weird, but I want to be able to roll here before the minion round starts because that'll give, like everyone else is going to be rolling down after the minion round. This will give me an opportunity to see like a dice roll or two before anyone else has a chance to play, anyone else starts rolling down. I do make a mistake here though. I'm a little bit too weak here. I almost end up dying to the wolves here. Like look how close this ends up getting. Thankfully Lux got off a really nice binding, or I think the wolves would have flat out killed me and I wouldn't have gotten these item drops, which would have been an absolute disaster. So I weakened my board a little bit too much. Now right there, you see the advantage of going to 7 before the minion round. I get to see a level 7 flop on the roll, on the champion roll there, and I get really lucky and find an early Zillion, which is just fantastic. So now I'm going to put in the Aurelia that I found. I also found a Cassiopeia. I found a Shen. So now I need to get these champions in. I'm trying to take my Duelist out because I'm not going to be playing Duelist. I also find a Talon, which is great because that'll allow me to maintain Enlightened 4. So let's get the Fiora out of there and put the Talon in. I haven't quite managed to get this team comp set up yet. So I'm going to go ahead and make an item on Talon. I actually make Guardian Angel first. I think that's a mistake. I think I should have gone for the IE. The Infinity Edge is the more important item on Talon. And I also should have dropped those tank items onto one of my frontline champions. But like I said, this is the hardest part of Teamfight Tactics, is changing over your team composition. I didn't quite manage to get it done in time. I think that I would have maybe even had a shot to win this round if I just dropped the Bramble Vest and the Zerat Portal on one of my frontliners, but I don't end up doing that. You can see it's actually a reasonably close fight, even though, you know, I didn't really make my team comp here. So I'm looking at what I've got here. I'm like, all right, what do I have? I've got Enlightened 4. We've got the Enlightened, so we're going to be looking to play into Talon here. And now I need to look to, again, continue taking out Duelists. I want to get the Cassiopeia in here. Now, oftentimes you wouldn't necessarily play Mystic 4 in a Talon-based team comp, and let's go ahead and put those tank items up on the front line. Like, you wouldn't necessarily always play Mystic 4 in this comp, but I found the early Zillion, so it would be crazy not to play that. And now I'm wondering, you know, should I, like, double Nico the Zillion? Because I'm probably not going to find a Zillion this early. I'm thinking about it, but I want to see a couple more rolls here and see just how strong this team composition is. I have a lot of 1-star champions in, so if I can 2-star some of these champions, that would be great. Now, the good news here is the Katarina gets off her ult, but she doesn't really hit much of anything because the cat is clearly the focus of this comp, and now her Quicksilver has worn off, and we're able to get her in a Nami bubble before she can ult a second time, so she doesn't get healed back up to full with her Gunblade. And that means once the Katarina's dead, this team composition is finished. And so we're able to win this one. And I'm still over 50 gold. And I was like, all right, this feels pretty decent. I want to roll a little bit more because I have so many 1-star champions. and see if I can find something. And then here I was like, oh, another Zillion at 1% odds. Okay, that's ridiculously lucky. So I'll Nico that and get the 2-star version. I'm go ahead and pick up an extra Aurelia. So now I have 2 out of 3 Aurelias. And yeah, having 2-star Zillion this early is crazy good. So now I've got a plan. And I was like, all right, we're getting there, getting close to making this Enlightened team composition work. I've got the Zillion. What I need to do now is I need to get to level 8. I will sell the Nami at level 8. I will put in Lux, and then I will put in Morgana, and I'll put the blue buff on either Morgana or Zillion, but that'll maintain Mystic 4, it'll maintain Enlightened 4, and I should really have something there if I can look to find a couple more Talons. I would definitely use the Nico's help on another Talon if I have a chance to get that, but it's not worth it just to get 2 out of 3 Talons. I'd have to have 2 in hand and use the Nico's to make the third one. This team comp here, Pro Support, might look a little bit weird because they're level 5 and they have no gold in the bank, but that's because they have been hyper rolling for Zed, and they've managed to make the Zed 3-star, and that's going to be a problem. That is a risky strategy to sit at level 5 and just hyper roll for a lower cost unit, because if you don't hit that unit, then your game is pretty much done for and you're going to get 8th place. But he hit that unit, and Zed has infinite scaling, so that's going to be problematic now. As far as this carousel goes, I was looking at the items. I was like, Ezreal wouldn't be bad. That's a way to get Dazzler in, but I'd really, really like this BF sword. I'm like, I'm not really going to get this BF sword, am I? Is it really going to be there? Okay. So even though I have last priority on carousel, somehow no one takes the BF sword. I guess they didn't need it. And I luck into exactly what I need, which is BF sword plus Brawler's Glove for an Infinity Edge, which is, again, like the most important item on Talon. And I really should have picked that up over the Guardian Angel, but I get to eat my cake and have it too. And I'm going to roll a little bit more here. I just would love to see if I could hit like the Talon. And then I hit the Talon, I hit the Aurelia, and I was like, all right, boom, we're good to go. And I will use my Nico's help there. So why use the Nico's help there? Well, the Zillion was an easy call. I looked my way into 2 out of 3 Zillions, and getting the Zillion 2-star is crazy good for this early in the game. The Talon is a little bit more questionable, but I still think it was the right play here, and I'm going to defend this call. The large reason is it means that now I am very, very comfortable to go to level 8 with the 2-star Talon. Now I don't have to roll anymore. I can save my gold. I think I should be able to win streak off of having that 2-star Talon. So it's going to put me in a position both to go to level 8 quickly, and then also probably to go to level 9 after that if I can win streak. I have a very strong team composition here between having the 2-star Zillion and the 2-star Talon with good Talon items. The 2 most important items on him are Guardian Angel and Infinity Edge. After that, it's a little bit more debatable. You probably would pick Hand of Justice as his third item. So because I have managed to make a strong comp here, I will be able to go back into econ mode, not have to invest any more gold in rerolling, and I should be able to win streak, and that should more or less lock down a top 4 finish. So I think it was definitely the right call. Obviously, I'm biased. It's me reviewing my own game footage, but I think that that was the best way to use that Nico, and I'm very happy with how I was able to use the Nico's helps in this game. I think that was pretty much the correct way to use them. I don't think I could have gotten more value than the way that I was able to use. And like I said, since I often struggle to get good value out of them, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're up against someone who is already also playing a Talon comp. Bloody Butterfly has managed to make his own 2-star Talon. The big problem here is that Talon has a Thief's Glove on it, and that means it's subject to just the dumb luck of what items Talon has to roll. And these items, Shroud of Stillness is obviously not a Talon item you would pick. And what was the other one? A Trap Claw? I mean, okay, but not great. So I have much better Talon items. Talon does 6,000 damage, and we clean up that fight pretty easily. This is a great roll here. I managed to find a Morgana, which is what I was looking for. Now, again, as soon as this minion round's done, we level to... we'll go ahead and level to 8. We'll put in the Morgana, and we'll drop the Nami. Nami comes out. Morgana goes in. Lux goes in. That puts Dazzler in play. We maintain the 4 Enlightened. And we even get Divine in play, too, because Divine is on Aurelia and also on the Lux, although that's not a key trait in this team composition. So things are coming along really nicely now. Like I said, certainly have had some pretty good luck in this game. The early 6 gold... Oh, and then look what I get here. My 2 items that drop are Brawler's Glove and a Negatron Cloak. And I even get a Chosen that I can finally use. I get a Dusk version of Cassiopeia. I was like, oh, cool, great. Now we'll splash Dusk into this team composition as well, and that'll give everyone 20% more spell power. Just a great trait to splash in like that. So I'll go ahead and make the Quicksilver on Talon, and I toss the blue buff on Zillion. The logic was it's better for me to have the blue buff on Zillion on a 2-star Zillion as opposed to a 1-star Morgana, which was my other thought. Maybe I put it on Morgana, but I mean, come on, it's a 2-star Zillion. Let's put the blue buff on him. He will pretty much instantly chrono shift 2 people at the start of the fight, and yeah, it's going to be hard for people to kill my team. So here's another person playing Talon. Yeah, a lot of people playing Talons. Again, part of the reason why I thought it was a good idea to use that Nico's help instead of just hopefully roll for more Talons. And yeah, I mean, I've got the 2-star Talon, that person has a 1-star, and we just rip right through this team comp without even breaking a sweat. Now, since I haven't done a video on Talon before, let me go ahead and describe what Talon actually does. So his traits are Enlightened plus Assassin. I am not playing the Assassin portion for Talon here. I'll read the description on his ability. Talon stabs his target, strikes them for % of his attack damage plus bonus physical damage. If Talon kills the target, Talon becomes unstoppable, untargetable, and invulnerable while he leaps to the lowest armor enemy and refunds all of his mana. So basically the way Talon works is once his mana bar fills up, he attempts to assassinate his enemy. If he does assassinate his enemy, he will then jump to another opponent. He's untargetable while that happens. If he kills them, he will then get another reset and jump to another target, and he'll just keep going and going and going until he stops. And because he has Enlightened Trait, his mana bar fills up faster, and he can just keep Goomba stomping people constantly again and again and again. He was changed in the most recent patch as I record this video. He initially used to target low health enemies. I believe now he targets low armor enemies. This was intended to be a nerf, but it wasn't. It really didn't end up being a nerf at all. And he still ended up being very effective in this patch, even though Riot thought that they were nerfing him. It didn't really work the way I think they were anticipating. Another thing that happened in this round is we rather easily win this one, is I ended up getting 2 Talons in my shop. And so I just went ahead and picked them up as well. And I'm not planning on doing anything with them. I honestly picked them up just for denial value. I know there's someone else playing Talon out there, and I just wanted to deny them access to Talon. Now, that's kind of a jerk thing to do, but this is a competitive game. And it is important to try to help your position. There is an outside chance I could get Talon 3-star, although, of course, I did use my Nico's helps already. And so, like, I know there's someone else playing Talon out there. We saw the person with the 1-star Talon. So this is me, as I said, being a jerk to trying to deny that person their a copy of 2-star Talon for themselves. And here we've got this comp that's based around Yasuo. So if you note, they've got the 3-star Yasuo. Very good itemization for Yasuo. Guardian Angel, plus a Quicksilver, plus a Hand of Justice. Those are great items. The only other one you might want in there is Infinity Edge, but these work just fine. So we very easily kill off the rest of the team composition. But, now we're going to be left with just the Yasuo. It looks like Yasuo did... I'm not sure if he rolled Life on Hit for the Hand of Justice or not. But when it's like 8v1, we're able to kill off the Yasuo. But that team composition is going to be a problem down the road. As far as what I'm thinking, I'm trying to get to level 9 right now. I want to put in one more champion, and my preferred champ to put in would be the Yone. So that's what I would have picked up if Yone had been available. But someone else grabbed it, so I'm going to have to try to find something else. The next item that I wanted was the Spear of Shojin. I thought that would be good on either Zillion or Morgana. But that also gets taken, so I'm going to have to fall back on another item. Now, there's 2 attack damage items and 1 spellcasting item. I end up going for the Ludens here because I don't really have a good person to put one of those attack damage items on. I guess Aurelia could hold it, but, there's not really someone that either of those items would be good on. I guess maybe to save for Yone, but those aren't great Yone items either. Instead, I'll take the Ludens. I'm going to put it on Cassiopeia. She is a chosen unit. This will cause her to cast... excuse me, this will cause her to cast more quickly, and the Luden splash effect is actually pretty decent on Cassiopeia ult. If the enemy team is bunched up together, she will both cast quickly, and she will also manage to get the damage, will hit multiple targets, and then splash across to other targets as well. At the moment, I'm just looking at other team compositions. I'm trying to think if I should move any of my champs for positioning, but I don't really think so. I kind of like how they're positioned right now. And I am on a 5-match winning streak. When I'm on a lengthy winning streak, I'm a little bit hesitant to change too much in terms of how I'm playing my composition. Because, if you're kind of winning with what you're doing, you probably shouldn't go too crazy changing up what you're doing. Again, Zillion having the blue buff is really, really nice. He has chrono shifted like 4 different people on my team right now. So, yeah, I mean, like half the team Not only is the whole team alive, half the team would get revived if they died. So this was about as not close of a round as you can get. It's a little bit unfortunate that it was a ghost round because I would have done about 20 damage to someone else. Yeah, would have done like 20 damage to Bloody Butterfly if I had actually been up against that comp instead of up against a ghost. But still, I mean, I'm just, again, leveling towards 9. I want to try to get to 9 quickly. If I'm one of the first people to 9, I'll have access to more of the 5-cost legendary units, and I can hopefully try to 2-star some of them. I'm not really looking to drop too much of my current comp. I guess you could make the argument I could drop down to Enlightened 2, but I'm pretty happy with the units I have. Like, I don't really want to drop Janna because she's providing both Enlightened 4 and Mystic 4, which gives everyone all that extra magic resistance. So, like, I don't really want to drop her. I don't want to drop the Aurelia because she provides Enlightened and also is providing me Divine and also providing me with Adept. So, oh, by the way, Cassiopeia gets off an absolutely amazing ultimate right there. She hit like the entire enemy team. Now Morgana is going to hit the whole team with her pool, and then Lux gets off an awesome binding that hits like 4 people. So even though this team comp is relatively strong, like that 3-star Garen is a little bit scary. We are in fact going to be able to hold up under this one. Talon's GA gets popped, but he's able to survive, come back, and so we're able to finish off that team comp. But that comp was pretty scary. We just got some really good abilities off from the rest of my team. And so I'm able to carry the win streak in through the minion round and get up to 7 consecutive wins. So I'm feeling really good about my team composition right now. Like I said, I'm going to look to go to 9 here. I'm hoping to find Yone. If I can't find Yone, I'll look to put in Ezreal because Ezreal will give me another way to apply Dazzler to a whole bunch of the team. I think that that's better than anything else I can play here. Like a Set or a Kayn or a Lee Sin. None of them would really fit this team comp that well. I think Ezreal applying Dazzler to more people would be a little bit of a better fit. But Yone would be the best fit here because he would get Adept 3 into play, and he's just another very strong unit that, just good to have those units in the team comp. So anyway, we're able to find another Morgana here. I'm going to make use of that Chalice. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Zilean and then try to get the benefit on Morgana because I think she can use the spell power more than Aurelia. So we'll toss in Ezreal here. Again, for another Dazzler unit. And then I want to put it on the opposite side of Lux, but then I get the Morg 2-star, and then I find Yone. So it's like, all right, well, I'll hold Ezreal on the bench, because if I can find Ezreal 2-star, that's better than Yone 1-star. But I think I have what I want here overall. And now we're just going to reposition. And I think I got a pretty good bit stronger as a result of that round. Now, I am unfortunately going to have to deal with the Zed. I think my comp is decently structured to deal with the Zed because we have a lot of revives. We have the Guardian Angel on Talon. We have Zilean to chrono shift people and bring them back. But yeah, and we also have a decent amount of crowd control. Like Lux gets off a great binding to hold the Zed in place. So now we need Talon to come down here and finish this guy off. And again, Talon's Guardian Angel procs. So even though he would die, he comes back to life. And fortunately, we're able to win that round because that person pro support had been, I believe, had been on a winning streak and been looking pretty strong. So I'm going to roll and again look to try to find more of the 5-cost units here. I also get another Talon. I was like, all right, well, I'll keep stacking these Talons because you never know, right? Might be able to get Talon 3-star. And again, I'm still looking for more Yones. I do manage to find the 2-star Shen here, but I make a mistake here. Look, there's a Talon that would get me to 7 Talons. And yet for some reason I don't see it. I don't know why that is. I think it's because the portraits were grayed out. Because I didn't have any gold in the bank. I think that's why, but I should have sold the Lee Sin and should have sold the Set here. At the very least, that would have gotten me back up to 10 gold. But, not picking up the Talon. Wow, that hurts. That hurts here. Because as it turns out, this person, Clack and Minnow, who's on 1 HP, that was the other person playing Talon. So now those 3 Talons they were holding go back into the pool. So now I really would have good odds to get Talon 3-star. I'd be at 7 Talons here. Instead, I'm going to be stuck at 6. And that's a little bit disappointing. But hey, I am still on a 9-match winning streak, as much as it hurts to see that go by. Like, I should have just sold the Set and the Lee Sin there. There was no reason to hold on to them. Still, I'm rolling for additional Yones. I would love to get another Yone. I also do find another Ezreal here. And this time I spot the Talon. So again, I could be at 8 Talons here. And then, there's another Talon. And yes, I know that maybe they wouldn't have popped up in the shop. But I'm at 8 Talons and I could have had 9. Again, assuming the shop played out the same way, which it might not have, let's be fair. But 8 Talons, I've got 2 Ezreals on the bench. And now I'm up against this comp, Who Yours Buddy. I'm on a 9-match winning streak. I'm feeling really good at this point. I was like, all right, I think I've got this one. I think I'm going to take the first place spot. But look at that Yasuo. That Yasuo is healing at an absolutely ridiculous rate. Like, I was like, wait, what's going on? why is the Yasuo not dying? I was like, oh, I guess he just rolled life on hit from his Hand of Justice. But like, wow, he just heals for so much. I was like, what the heck? Why is he just sits at full health the entire fight and I can't seem to do anything? I was like, okay, well, that was a little bit weird, but maybe he just rolled life on hit from the Hand of Justice. Maybe that was it. So maybe it's not that big of a deal. Well, anyway, on this carousel, there's only a couple of us left here, and I should pick up the Yone here. I would get a BF sword on him, and I would be closer to getting Yone 2-star, but instead I go for the Redemption, and I do think that that was a mistake. Now, Redemption has a lot of value in the late game because it does heal your entire team. What it does is it heals the whole team when the unit that it's on dies, but look what happens here. There's a Yone in the shop, and could have had the Yone 2-star. I don't get it. Now I'm going to sell Ezreal's to re-roll because I have 2 out of 3 Yones here. But of course, now it's the Ezreal's popping up in the shop. And so I'm at 2 out of 3 Yones, and I'm at 8 out of 9 Talons. And I really have kind of bungled this here in the late game. Not picking up the correct... by not picking up the correct unit in the carousel to get the Yone 2-star, and by missing the one Talon that would have given me Talon 3-star. So these are problems. And here's the same comp I just hit in the previous round. It's Who's Your Buddy again. So once again, the problem is that Yasuo, we can't seem to deal any damage to the Yasuo, or any damage we deal just gets healed instantly. I'm like, what is going on here? Why is he healing for so much? Is it just his Hand of Justice rolling light on hit or life on hit or something like that? But as it turns out, no, it's not actually that. What has happened is he has put in Yone to match with the Yasuo. So what that means is he now has Exile 2, which is a trait that you almost never see, because Exile is a trait that only applies to Yasuo and Yone. The Exile 1 is you get a shield equal to 50% of your maximum health. But the Exile 2, which is something, again, that you almost never see, is Exile units get 80% lifesteal. So the Yasuo is healing at an incredible rate, and the Yone also heals at an incredible rate too. And unfortunately, he's managed to make Yone 2-star. So he is playing this, Who's Your Buddy is playing this Duelist 8 team composition. So he gets crazy attack speed. His Yasuo can't be crowd controlled because he has the Quicksilver, and he also has the Guardian Angel. So even if we would kill him, he gets a 1 revive for free. And so it's like in this round, I believe we actually kill the Yasuo, but he's got the Guardian Angel, so he's going to come back. And now just look at this healing. It's absurd. We have the entire team comp hitting the Yasuo. Unfortunately, he dodges the Lux Binding, which I think would have killed him and would have ended this match because Who's Your Buddy's on 14 HP. But nope, Yasuo's going to dodge away from that, and he's going to just keep healing, and he's going to kill every single member of my team. And I was like, what the heck? This is ridiculous. Now, he only does 12 damage, but I was like, come on, this is crazy. I am fortunately going to find the Yone 2-star, so that's a plus. I managed to get that redemption item. So you see me, I'm going to type Hand of Justice life on hit 3 rounds in a row, but that's actually not true. I don't even know if he was rolling the life on hit from the Hand of Justice. Honestly, that's probably worse than the bonus damage for him. It's actually the Exile 2. It's the lifesteal he gets from Exile 2. So I have to find some way to deal with that team composition. What I really need would be a healing debuff. I need either a Sunfire Cape to reduce the healing that he's getting, or a Morellonomicon. But the problem is it's so late in the game, there isn't really any way to do that. Like, I can't like look to make items at this point in the game. I'm just reliant on items that would drop. Like, I don't even get item components at this stage of the game. I just get completed items. So that's what I really need. Now I'm going to go ahead and make use of this locket. There's another Yone, but it's too late for that. I'm not going to make Yone 3-star. I have every unit 2-star in my comp. The only thing I'm looking for is a Talon, and then, oh, there it is! The 3-star Talon. Oh my goodness. But it costs 4 gold, and I'm at 3 gold, and there's literally nothing I can sell. I can't sell anything, so all I can really do is lock for the next round. If I win this round, I'd have enough gold to buy it, but if I win this round, the game's over, so I might as well lock here. There's literally nothing in the shop that could be more valuable than that. So once again, we have to try to deal with the 2-star version of the 2-star version of the Yasuo, and again, I'm just really struggling to deal with this because the healing is so absurd. Like, we're able to kill the Yone, no problem. And we're able to kill the Lee Sin, but there's just no way to deal with this unit, not with the units I have here. So I was like, all right, well, the good news is I won't take that much damage. I only take 17 damage here, because only the Yasuo survives. And It's going to be up to 3-star Talon. So can 3-star Talon get this done? That's what it's all about. As a 4-cost unit, Talon gets much, much stronger when he hits the 3-star version. Here's the bonus damage he does. At 1-star, it's 125 damage. At 2-star, it's 200 damage. And then at 3-star, it's 600 damage. So his bonus damage on his execute triples in value when he gets 3-star, and that's what it's going to be about. Because if this fight drags out, then the Yasuo is going to be able to heal back up to full instantly. So this is all about me. This is all about Talon being able to execute the Yone and then execute the unit that keeps killing us, Yasuo. So Talon pops off. He kills the. He manages to kill the Yone, and then now he's going to hop on he's going to hop on the, well, struggling to say the name here. He's going to hop on that unit that keeps killing us, and that's going to be it. Talon 3-star for the win. So yeah, stacking all those Talons ultimately is the difference in this game, and that's going to be enough to overcome the Yasuo of Doom in this match. So what's stronger than 3-star Yasuo with Exile 2? Apparently it's 3-star Talon. Well, anyway, I know that this video is probably going to be obsolete by the time I post it, but I think it was still fun to watch. I was really happy with how this game played out. Obviously got lucky, but like I said, I think I made use of what I was given, and I was really happy with how it played. So in any case, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, have a great week. See you soon.